Welcome to Indiana Sports Beat Radio.
So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Time!
Three on the way. Oh! It went in! It went in! And Indiana wins the ball game!
Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni!
Float game for the win! Taylor's gone. Come on, touchdown, Indy! Woo! IU! America! They got a football team now!
It's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop!
Now, here's Jim Coyle.
Yes, it is. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome aboard. I'm glad to have you. Glad to be here. Glad to be around. Another decent day outside, except for it's cold as all get out. My goodness. Man, I'm not going to lie to you. Looking forward to Miami. Hope everyone is having a great start to their day. The week is, you're past the halfway point, so it's all downhill from here. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good. It's just like Kevin Bacon, like I said it in Animal House. Everything's going to be okay. Indiana playing for a national championship in football on Monday. Yep, that's crazy. But it's true, and it could become the norm. Great question for Indiana fans. And I should wait to pose this till a little later into the show, and maybe I will. Looking forward to loaded show today. Loaded show in the next 2 days. Let's see. We'll hear from Curt Cignetti, I believe. Coach is going to join us. Alec Lasley will join us. Matt Taylor from the Colts will join us. And then there's me. Tomorrow on the program, another packed day. Rick Bozich, the man, the captain. Man, after covering Indiana since 1976, he retires 1 year before this and misses out on all of this. We're all every time at every game. I've been talking to the people from WDRB and out of Louisville, and I'm like, damn it, just one more year he could have gone. But he seems to be quite content sitting at home watching it on his couch. Zach Osterman tomorrow as well. Bill Bender from the Sporting News also, as we'll be heading out to Miami. And then on Monday, we'll be doing the show from Miami. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to have a show Tuesday right now, to be honest with you, because of travel and coming back. So kind of preparing you for that. Ricky B back tomorrow. It's a one-day special. But yeah, we've got Ricky B, the legend, coming back. Can't wait. Looking forward to that. But looking forward to everybody. Let's see. I know I had. Oh yeah. I'm gonna save some of this stuff. The clip from Steve Alford. Everybody heard that was pretty good. I'm going to save that. We might hear from Riley Nowakowski, Adewale Ogunleye, former IU legend. Indiana football continues to add. Man, they landed a big one yesterday, a huge piece to their offensive line puzzle going forward for next year. You want to know, this is the 42nd anniversary of the commercial. Where's the beef? Where's the beef? I'll tell you where the hell the beef is. It just landed. Well, it hasn't landed yet, but it's going to be landing in Bloomington in the name of Joe Brunner. ESPN's number 44 player in the portal. On three's got him listed high in the portal. A guard from Wisconsin, 6'5", 318 pounds. There's the beef. That's what I'm talking about. That's what Curt Cignetti is going to continue to do. He's going to get experienced players who want to play in an environment like this. First of all, it's fun because you know why? Winning. What have I always said? Winning cures everything. I've said that for years. But what else is winning? Winning is fun. So, guys they want it, man. They're like going, I want some of that. They're all looking in Bloomington and saying, I want some of that. They're seeing these players loving life. They're seeing these 0, 1, 2, 3-star players kicking everybody else's butts. And they're like, yeah, I was a big time 4-star, but I'm not getting into that. We're not winning. I want some of that. If you build it, they will come. And Curt Cignetti has built it. And man, oh man, are they arriving in droves. We'll talk a lot about that when Alec Lasley joins us from thehoosier.com. And get a scorecard. Keep up with all that's going on. But go to thehoosier.com if you want to keep it up with it all, because that's where it is. How about Corey Heatherman, the defensive coordinator for Miami? Great story in thehoosier.com right now as well about him. Curt Cignetti, as well as Mike Shanahan and Brian Haynes, all very familiar with Corey Heatherman, the defensive coordinator for Miami, because he's a former defensive coordinator for Curt Cignetti and James Madison. That's right. It's kind of like looking in a mirror of sorts. For Brian Haynes, I think there's some similarities. So those guys, well, they're not going up against each other, really. It's Mike Shanahan and Curt Cignetti that will be going up against him. This is going to be a chess match. So these guys can be playing chess. It is, I don't know what happened there, but it's going to be the master, the Zen master against young grasshopper. Yeah. So there's a cool storyline. All of this, all this big team talk and stuff, and look who the combatants are. Even Curt Cignetti's tree going to James Madison here. Curt Cignetti starting his own coaching tree. But that'll be interesting. That defense has been pretty daggone good. If you look at Miami's defense statistically, they are pretty good. They're not as good as Indiana, but they are good. They're very similar as far as good against the run, really good in sacks, good in tackles for loss, which means they have a very, very aggressive and active and successful front line. They're not the greatest against the pass, so I think that Indiana's going to have to scheme and make sure that they're ready to adjust to their blitzing, because they are going to blitz, but you can get burned on the blitz. They've done good against the run, but when you're blitzing and Indiana's got Roman Hemby and Kalon Black, it takes one burst and they're gone. But then they have not faced an offense like Indiana's. I can't say that Indiana has not faced a defense like this, because they've played Ohio State, they've played Oregon, they've played Alabama. I don't know how good this defense really is, but statistically, they're pretty good. They're, I guess, not as good as Ohio State statistically, but I think that they may be a little bit better. I think Ohio State's numbers are just skewed a little bit, but doesn't matter. Numbers none of the stats matter. They're all out. Throw them out the window. It's the national championship game. It's a one-game tournament. It is a one-game tournament. It's 60 minutes. A lot can happen in 60 minutes. You saw what happened to Oregon last week. That wasn't because of Indiana's prolific offense that destroyed them. It was their mistakes in Indiana's defense taking advantage. Interception, 2 fumble recoveries, block punt, all in the red zone, man. That makes life pretty damn easy for an offense. So, but it also shows Indiana is so multifaceted. It's not just their offense. You have to be ready for everything when you play Indiana, special teams included. We're ready for it. Are you? We're going to hit the break. Coach Griff will join us. We'll get into chopping it up. Glad that you're with us. Don't forget, head out to Dave & Buster's if you live in the Bloomington area. They've got great specials. Great place to watch the championship game on Monday night. $10 wings, 10 wings for $10, $5 dash, $5 margaritas. Great place to take the kids because it's also half-price games now, not just Sunday. Sunday through Thursday are half-price games. You got these 3 gigantic wall TVs you can watch the games on. And if you've got kids, they can just go play. Great bar setup. It's a pretty damn nice place. Plan your next birthday party there or any kind of party that you want. And don't forget our buddy Dr. J. Reynolds Family Dentistry down in Sellersburg. Let's keep that championship smile. Go visit Jay Reynolds at Reynolds Family Dentistry in Sellersburg, Indiana, down in southern Indiana, our old buddies, where we started. Lots more coming up. Back with it and more. Coach Griff joins us right after we hit this break.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports. The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC. Local lives here.
Looking for a place to have fun with the family, friends, or both? Head to Dave & Buster's by College Mall in Bloomington. Dave & Buster's has a wide array of games for everyone, and Sunday is fun day, half off of all games. There are $10 wings, $5 drafts, $5 margaritas for mom and dad watching the IU games on Dave & Buster's giant wall TVs and flat screens. Head out to the new Dave & Buster's by College Mall in Bloomington. Eat, drink, play. If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemoreSells@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington has the deals for you, like great savings on the remaining 2025 Hondas. First-time buyers get more than expected. The Honda Civic and HR-V are the most popular vehicles for first-time buyers in the U.S. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington also has a quality selection of pre-certified used vehicles. And check out the selection of Andy Moore Honda Bloomington's 2026 models, like the Honda Passport, Honda CR-V Hybrid, Honda Ridgeline, and more. ISB Radio with Jim Coyle is brought to you exclusively on the Zone by Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer. Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Thursday, championship week. Indiana, Miami, taking it out on Monday evening down at Miami Hard Rock Gardens, whatever the hell it's called. Coach Griff joins us. What is the name of this stupid stadium? It's Hard Rock Gardens or Miami Gardens?
Yeah, it's in Miami Gardens, Hard Rock Stadium. Yeah.
What do you mean it's in Miami Gardens? Is it?
That's the city area that's designated.
Gotcha now. Okay.
Just
What's
like
the
South
official?
Beach.
It's Hard Rock Stadium, though, right?
Yes, Hard Rock Stadium.
Yeah, they keep changing all these names, and it's
and it sounds as if they're from from what I've been gathering over the last few days, that if you are going to the game down there in Miami, you better plan accordingly because of the traffic or issues going in and out of the stadium. So,
Well, and that just got tripled or quadrupled probably because I was told yesterday that a certain individual by the acronym of POTUS would be going to the game. And for those of you that are not up to date on acronyms, POTUS is the Secret Service short name for President of the United States. That is going to make everything. Oh my God. Like right now, we had an event that it's all right if you want to cover this event, and it's just the team arriving.
Yeah.
Name, your official full name, Social Security, driver's license. Oh, I'm like, what the hell? I mean,
yeah.
And this was before POTUS. So I just hope my plans are to be there well before POTUS, and I don't have to worry about POTUS traffic because
I'm with you. I'll probably go with you.
To everything.
I will probably go with you.
Everything. But
I'll go when you go because you're the smart one around here. But I'm gonna get to go with you. Yeah, I'll be down there with you.
Yeah, oh yeah, that'll be good. I can't wait to do a lot more of. And I've done this before. I just haven't been good about getting it posted because it's so hard. But just did a ton of interviews with fans, just walking around. Hey, who are you? What's your name? Where are you from?
All that.
People really love that. And I've done that a ton before, but just never got around to posting it because it's, first of all, those long videos it takes them a while to get uploaded. But and it's hard when you're out and about to get that stuff up there. But I'll make sure to make that happen, especially for the national championship. I'll do it every day. I'm going to make this an everyday thing.
Yeah, that'd be good. Then you can take your time in terms of uploading it. It won't have to.
Well, no, that never works out. That never works out. But that's quite okay.
That's all right.
This is going to be an epic event. In Hard Rock Stadium with you've got the center portion of the roof that is exposed. This is like I guess you would call it, this is like an English soccer stadium is what I call it. They've got a full roof except for over top of the playing surface, open air. And it's cool. Still, I think it'll still make it extraordinarily loud because the roof is over the fans, so it'll bounce back down. And let me tell you, Mercedes-Benz, earplugs time, baby. It was D'Angelo Pons. D'Angelo Pons just went out there with a match and lit the fuse, and boom, boom goes the dynamite is right. That's how you start a game off. But, and coach, that also, Indiana's offense didn't have to do anything hardly in that game. I mean, that's not quite true, but from a standpoint of the game being on their shoulders, hell no, the defense handed it to them with that pick six, 2 fumble recoveries, a block punt, all in the red zone, I think. I mean, it was nuts. And Indiana was 5 of 5 in the red zone. Oregon scores that late trash touchdown with less than a minute to go.
Yeah.
Very trash because Indiana had only allowed one team to get over 15 points this year. They were only the second, but that was a trash touchdown to accomplish that. So, but I think this is going to be I think it's going to be a low scoring game. Both of these teams are very good defensively. They're very good against the run. Miami does not have the running game that Indiana does. So I think Indiana is going to have to carve out yardage, but I think that they will be able to carve out that yardage, because I think that Mike Shanahan and specifically Curt Cignetti, they're sitting there just studying this defense, going, okay, and they're watching these blitzes, and you know better than I, how are they going to combat the blitzing and the ferocity of Miami's front line? This.
That's a great question. The one thing too is Corey Heatherman, the defensive coordinator,
former
Cignetti,
James Madison, DC, under Cignetti.
Yeah. And so what you're seeing from Miami is very, in some respects, is similar to what Brian Haynes is running, because they both were together and both have that attacking mentality of defense. They're only giving up 86.5 yards a game in rushing defense. So you see a lot of moving parts, and very similar to what Indiana does in terms of what they do. So I don't think you're going to see Indiana change too much. I do think, the RPO game could be a big component of this game, just because of the way Miami plays things. And what the biggest thing you're going to have to do is make sure that they're taking care of the defensive ends, the two, Bain especially, number 4. I mean, he is a superb pass rusher, big, physical. He's got length, and they're going to have to try to do some things to help the tackles out to keep this guy off track, because they've got 47 sacks on the year. So they're just about right where Indiana is in the sack department. So I look for Indiana. I mean, I think one thing that Ole Miss did was use some tempo, no huddle concepts, not the total hurry up, but enough to make them have to think fast defensively, and trying to keep them off balance with what they like to do. And that's going to be the key thing. Can they keep them off balance in this game on Monday night?
Well, just a quick, math is not my forte, but I was quickly able to surmise that in the 3 games that Indiana played against, the 2 against Oregon and against Ohio State, they compiled 14 sacks. They sacked, I think, 5 sacks in the Ohio State game, 6 in the first Oregon game, and then they added 3 more in the last one. That's 14 sacks. That's in 3 games. That's just under 5 sacks per game against that kind of talent.
Yeah.
While I know Miami is good on the edge, but until the CFP, they played Virginia,
Pitt.
lesser talented teams, let's just say. So, but I'm not doubting Ruben Bain is Ruben Bain. I mean, he's going to be playing on Sunday next year,
and so is
he's not alone.
Mesidor,
yeah, he's not alone. But so with the edges constantly going to be a pressure, I'm wondering, all right, does that lead to moving the pocket? Does that lead to just quicker strike passes? Does it lead to more inside interior running? What are we offensively? What are you looking at to combat that?
Well, yeah, I think they did some of that too against Oregon, figuring that they were going to try to bring some more pressure against them, and they moved Fernando. So I'm a big proponent of changing the launch point of the quarterback so it's not always the same, and it keeps the defense guessing when it comes to where is the quarterback going to ultimately be. That's one thing, to keep moving the pocket. I think, you look at the quick screen type of game that can also be a big help against a defense that's overly aggressive, and getting things controlled there with, running the screen game, whether it's out on the perimeter screens or even the interior of the screen game. Now, one thing we may see in situational aspects, and Indiana's done this thus far, is getting into some true two tight end sets in order to balance the front, and that helps keep some of the stuff that defenses like to do. It calms it down some because the offense has balance gaps and the defense has to honor that. So it also, that calms a lot of that stuff down. So I don't see Indiana changing a lot in terms of what they have done. I do think, again, that Surratt and Charlie Becker and Coop are going to have to win contested balls, and they're going to get hammered because they're going to let them play. And that's one thing that in the game against Oregon that you were referencing with the offense, the one thing that I like to see in that game was Fernando's back shoulder throwing was perfect, something that he has not been great at. And we saw some of the old Elijah Surratt going up for contested balls and making the play. Indiana has those type of guys, and that's the other thing. You got to take some shots against this defense because they're going to give you opportunities to go down the field against a defense that's overly aggressive in what they do. Now, they do a lot of the zone pressure stuff, kind of what Bryant does. It's a lot of zone pressure and bringing backers up into the line of scrimmage. And you see a lot of that. And it turns out you think that they're going to be in man, and then they jump into a zone. So things like that. I like Fernando in terms of being able to throw the ball because he's done so well with that type of pressure, the zone pressure stuff, of reading the coverage and finding ways to combat that with the route that's called.
Yeah, and but that's the one thing that brings immediately to my mind the word discipline. And that is what Indiana has been all season long, disciplined on both sides of the ball. Offensively, they don't make mistakes. They don't beat themselves. They're not getting these false start penalties. False start penalties are one of the worst penalties for a team to get. Of all penalties, they're one of the absolute worst to get for a couple of reasons. As you just pointed out, it's just a freaking mental mistake, number one, an unforced error. But number two, they are the ultimate drive killer.
No question.
I mean, they are the ultimate drive killer. How many times have you seen a team that is on a drive and damn it, they get to a critical, it's 3rd and 1. You get 3rd and 1. Now all of a sudden you're 3rd and 6. That makes that changes everything. And Indiana is good at not. They're the 4th best team at not being penalized.
Yeah.
Miami, about 118th. They are undisciplined. They make a lot of mistakes, a lot of mental mistakes. Sometimes maybe it's because they're too, not necessarily undisciplined. What is undisciplined? On defense.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
I mean, you have to know where the lines are. You can't be going over the line that much. And that it just comes back to haunt you. I think that is going to be a huge thing in this game.
No question.
And I'm not talking about the offensive penalties because I think the crowd is going to be pretty equal. I think Indiana fans are going to manage to get their hands on at least half of those tickets. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a tick more, but either way, they're not going to be at a disadvantage in that regard. So, but that is going to play such a huge role in this game, but it's also going to play a huge role with or without penalties because of being disciplined in their play. That's how you get beat, when you're not disciplined, when you're not in the position you're supposed to be, when you're not filling the role you're supposed to fill, when you're not whatever, discipline just shows its head in so many ways in a football game, but nothing more than in a championship game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the margin for error is razor thin And, you referenced Oregon, the mistakes that they made, and a good team like Indiana not only makes you pay for it, but it also makes you suffer for it for a long time because you're behind the 8 ball when you do things like that and give up.
Don't you think Indiana football fans have suffered for long enough, Coach?
Yes, they have. They have suffered long enough. But, Indiana is, 21 points off of turnovers. They're a very good team of taking a turnover and turning it into points. So that's another thing that I think ultimately creeps into the equation. And you mentioned discipline and the undisciplined that Miami shows some of the time on defense. They're going to lose one of their guys for, I think it's a half because he got targeting. And they could have had at least 2 more that were not called targeting in that game against Ole Miss. And they had a lot of personal fouls.
They did not call the pass interference at the end of the game. And that was clear pass interference.
Mm-hmm.
I feel sorry for I had dinner with my daughter Kylie last night. She's still not over it. Not over it. But that's what it is. Hey, I've got to hit a break. You can hang around if you want with Alec. Alec is going to join us next. And we've got lots more coming up. Appreciate you being with us here on this Thursday. It's championship week, baby. Heading to Miami tomorrow. Indiana football heading to Miami tomorrow. The championship game Monday night. Indiana's playing for a national championship in Division I football, people. What? Hey, I'm going to leave this question with you as we hit the break. Will Purdue fans just absolutely lose their minds if Indiana wins a football national championship before they win a basketball national championship? Things to ponder. Back right after these messages. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington has the deals for you, like great savings on the remaining 2025 Hondas. First-time buyers get more than expected. The Honda Civic and HR-V are the most popular vehicles for first-time buyers in the U.S. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington also has a quality selection of pre-certified used vehicles. And check out the selection of Andy Moore Honda Bloomington's 2026 models, like the Honda Passport, Honda CR-V Hybrid, Honda Ridgeline, and more. ISB Radio with Jim Coyle is brought to you exclusively on the Zone by Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer.
Huddle up, football fans. Tailgate season is here, and nobody gets you ready for game day like Academy Sports and Outdoors. Swing by your local Academy store or shop online at academy.com to find everything you need, from grills to jerseys and more. Be a watch party legend with gear from top brands like Nike and Under Armour, all at unbeatable prices every day. With 8 Academy stores across Indiana, including our Bloomington location, fun can't lose, and neither can you. Gear up today at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemoreSells@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. Looking for a place to have fun with the family, friends, or both? Head to Dave & Buster's by College Mall in Bloomington. Dave & Buster's has a wide array of games for everyone, and Sunday is fun day, half off of all games. There are $10 wings, $5 drafts, $5 margaritas for mom and dad watching the IU games on Dave & Buster's giant wall TVs and flat screens. Head out to the new Dave & Buster's by College Mall in Bloomington. Eat, drink, play. Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Jim Coyle with you as always on this Thursday. It's championship week. Coach Griff with us and Alec Lasley from thehoosier.com, where you need to go. It is your source for Indiana news and recruiting information and all things that are going on. You can join now for just $1. And I think you got a transfer portal special, 50% off for the year. You get a free year of The Athletic and all of the On3 national content. And On3 is the undisputed leader in all of this business that's going on. Alec, Lasley, the Hoosiers are adding players like never before. Earlier, the most recent, I guess, the beef. The beef comes from Wisconsin, 6'5", 318 pounds. Sounds like I'm introducing in this quarter from parts unknown. 6'5", 318 pounds. Indiana's new starting right guard. This is the kind of thing that Indiana has long needed. They have never been good on the offensive line. And boy, this year, you see the difference it makes all the way in what it is allowing the Hoosiers to do. And then having Bob Bostad with those Wisconsin roots, you pull this guy in. But guys are going to want to play for Bob Bostad, just like they want to play for Curt Cignetti and play in this program because they want to win. Winning is fun. Winning cures everything, and winning is happening in Bloomington right now.
Yeah, and I mean the development as well. The developmental piece, obviously, that's a huge point of emphasis for a lot of these guys with 1 or 2 years left that a lot of these transfers are that come to Indiana. And I mean, Joe Brunner, the guy who we were just talking about, obviously the Wisconsin offensive lineman, obviously a significant, and I don't think that can be understated. The addition that he's going to be making to this roster next year. Obviously, they needed to bulk up with some depth at the offensive line. Losing Pat Coogan, obviously the expectation is they will be losing Carter Smith. We'll see what happens, but you kind of find it hard pressed to believe that he will be back with just everything that he has going for him right now. Obviously, offensive lineman of the year in the Big Ten, looks to be anywhere from kind of that second round, early third round grade at the NFL draft. And that's difficult to do regardless of if they win, right? You just don't see a lot of players with that sort of NFL grade returning after going to the national championship game, regardless of win or lose. So they needed to add that. That's the lone offensive lineman that they've added this offseason. There haven't been a lot of names. There have been just a couple that have kind of been floating around. That was the big one, though, that they needed to get. Beat out Texas for them. Obviously a massive win there. But yeah, I mean, you look all around with the transfers that have been coming in over the last couple of years, and whether or not it's the quarterback position, whether or not it's any of those wideouts, right, with Keyshawn Williams, Miles Price, obviously both at the NFL level right now, and both had, to certain degrees, very successful seasons there in their rookie years. Whether it's on the defensive side of the ball, right, with what CJ West did, obviously James Carpenter coming over last year and having a massive year as well. But then you look at what they did this year, obviously with Kellen Wyatt before he went down was leading the Big Ten in tackles for loss. You look at Stephen Daly, who was pretty much, let's say for what it is, pretty much non-existent for the first half of the year and didn't have a tackle in the first Oregon game and comes in and then leads the nation in tackles for loss. Pretty
He's
much in about
of defensive linemen.
Yeah, and exactly. And comes in the last kind of 6-7 games and puts up monster numbers. And the fact that, again, I think everyone was quite confused that he didn't get on any of the 3 all Big Ten postseason teams here. It was just an honorable mention. I think you look to the first half of the year and his lack of production there of why that happened. But still, Tyreek Tucker, right, his development this year. You just look at all of these guys.
Mario Landino, all the guys that have gotten, that have gotten opportunities. It's weird. It's just like this conveyor belt. Oh, you knock one off here, there's another one in its place.
And that just shows you the true dedication and the attention to detail when it comes to the system and the scheme. Yeah, exactly. But specifically the system and the scheme, right? I mean, none of these guys that are coming in, for the most part, right, that are expected to have impacts have failed. Let's be honest. I don't think we've seen a guy who's come in expected to have a large impact from the transfer portal and has not had that sort of level of impact. You look all across the country, right? And, guys come in, whether they're 5-star transfer portal guys who have the really scary P word of potential and fail to live up to that and then go on. And that's when they're on 3, 4, 5 different teams because they can't find a home. Indiana just does such a phenomenal job going into film, looking at exactly how certain players fit within this system and within this scheme and get the most out of them, elevate them, and then go on to the next level. Again, the two guys that I think you look at just the right away are, again, CJ West of last year, and then obviously Stephen Daly of this year and what they were able to do. But yeah, regardless of the position, I don't think there's a better program across college football right now to go to if you want to win, if you want to get coached hard, if you want to have a successful degree after college, and if you want to get developed and potentially play at the next level. Not many programs cross off all four of those boxes. Indiana does.
And Indiana is developing every one of these guys. And coach, the thing that is, not just, there's no one thing that's amazing. One of the amazing things is their ability to identify these players that quickly, because they don't have time to really watch them for a year. They don't have time to this and that. It's very quick process, but this has to come in the talks that Curt has with these guys and that they have with their position coaches, and then the talks he has with the position coach about that guy. But this all has to happen very fast.
Yeah, I mean, you look at some of the things that how they did it this year and how fast they were going and getting some of their top guys, off the hopper. One thing too is in recruiting, you never burn a bridge with the kid because you do not know when that kid comes back to you. And in today's game, it's so important. That's how they got Stephen Daly from Kent State. They actually had him in camp at James Madison, knew all about him and what he brought to the table athletically. And because they had that relationship with him, that's what brought him to Indiana. And you're going to continue to see that because that is the style these coaches recruit with, as well as Coach Cignetti. They don't lose track of guys that they like because they've already done the evaluation on him.
Well, okay, here we go. I'm going to pose this to both of you that I said this yesterday. I think Alberto Cignetti would be Alberto Mendoza would be better served. I think Alberto Mendoza would be better served to leave, hit the portal right now, go to wherever he can get a starting job for a year, get a year's starting experience, then transfer back to Indiana, because every year he's going to be competing against somebody who has starting experience, and that matters. It matters to Curt Cignetti, and it matters overall. I know that Curt Cignetti has a lot of loyalty to Alberto, so he's got that going for him, but he still has to. Starting experience just gives you an advantage.
It does. Look, I mean, I think we've said this a few times, and I was pretty adamant over the last probably month and a half of the season that Alberto Mendoza was not going to be the starting quarterback for Indiana next year. Whether or not that meant he was transferring, that's a different conversation. But you hear, and more so now over the last couple of weeks, when more national guys are starting to talk about how you build a program, and specifically ask Curt Cignetti that over the last handful of weeks. And his biggest thing is, right, you don't have a year to, retool anything. It's more about reloading. And that's obviously what you're seeing, especially with the guy like Josh Hoover coming in. But there is absolutely no way that this coaching staff and this program right now is going to take the chance that Alberto Mendoza is the guy. They're not going to live with that potential, because again, if you have a guy who has thrown for 3,500 yards, right, with Josh Hoover, has been a 3-year
Josh
starter.
Hoover's thrown for 9,000 yards right now.
Yeah, exactly. But like last year, coming in like in his last season, and then has started for 3 straight years
in a tough conference. Not that this is not the MAC either. This has been in the Big 12.
Tough conference in a team that doesn't have the skill level and coaching and development that Indiana does at the quarterback position. So there's no shot that a Curt Cignetti and this coaching staff is going to take that chance that Alberto Mendoza, he could be the guy, right? No one's saying that he's not, but
because he's talented. We know that.
Yeah, this coaching staff has showed that they are going to go after production over potential every single time, no matter what. And would this coaching staff love to have Alberto Mendoza on the roster next year? Absolutely. I think they would be, foolish to not try to do anything to keep him. But Alberto Mendoza is good enough to start at a lot of Power 4 programs next year with his development over the last 2 years, sitting behind obviously Curtis Rourke and then Fernando Mendoza. And I think there would be no love lost if Alberto left and went elsewhere. There would obviously be a sentiment that he could be, the legend at Indiana if he stayed and just was that formidable backup quarterback who and trust is going to be able to go out there if there's an injury or if there's anything that he needs to do. But you just, in this day and age of college football, you cannot take the opportunity and whiff at the quarterback position, because 1 year can set you back 3-4 years.
I agree with you on all of that. But again, my question is, should Alberto hit the portal, go get a year of starting experience? When he comes back with 2 years of experience, he'll have 2 years of eligibility remaining.
Look, he can go, but I don't necessarily think that's going to mean that, Cignetti and this coaching staff is going to be like, hey, go elsewhere for a year and then come back. Right. That's kind of a weird precedent that I mean, who knows? Coaches could be saying that to players, right? You see players go elsewhere and then come back, but I don't think that that's necessarily a conversation that you have, because it's a difficult, weird line that you're kind of setting, and I just don't think, right, if Alberto leaves, and look, I think he kind of wants to set his own narrative and his own kind of experience in college and not be Fernando's little brother at Indiana. I don't, with everything that's gone on this year, right? He's always going to be Fernando's little brother, regardless of what happens. And I don't know if that's such a hard,
and ironically, he had a better high school career than Fernando did.
Yeah. And Fernando credits Alberto for the season that he's had because of how well he knew the playbook when Fernando initially committed. And so Alberto,
and being here, period.
Yeah. And Alberto's done a lot for Fernando's growth and development this year. And I don't know. I never thought that Alberto was going to want to remain a backup for another year. And I just never thought that he was going to be the quarterback for Indiana long-term with the success that they've had. Obviously with a Heisman winner and then a top 10 player in the Heisman voting in Curtis Rourke the year before. So it just never seemed to be that would be the direction they go. So to answer your question in a long-winded approach, no, I don't think that's ever going to happen. But I don't think so either. I do think it's more likely that he leaves than he does stay.
Here's the problem. This is the good, bad about the portal.
You got 30 seconds to do it.
Good, bad about the portal. Good that you can go out and find some of these top guys and bring them in. Bad from the standpoint of from building your program up and doing it with young guys that you're bringing others in front of them. That tells them they're not quite good enough. And you're going to see this a lot now. Your suggestion, Jim, if I'm a high school quarterback and I'm a 4-star quarterback, I'm going to go where I can play right away to get my stock and value at the college level. Then I'm going to go transfer somewhere rather than go to a big time program and not do anything but be a guy on the bench or back.
Well, that was probably his original plan since he went to James Madison originally.
Sure. And you're seeing this prime example is Aaron Noland, a 5-star recruit 2 or 3 classes ago, has been to both South Carolina and Ohio State, hasn't found a landing spot because he thought that at South Carolina that Sellers was going to be gone and he was going to be the guy. He comes back, then he sits behind him. And Ohio State obviously just continues to pump out young, ready-made quarterbacks. And that's just a prime example of why would you not want to go to a mid-major or low-high major, right? Any of these lower level teams that are not Power 4, throw for 4,000 yards, get a bunch of statistics under your belt, and get ready-made experience and then transfer up. I think that's the route that you're going to see a lot of these guys go. There was just a comment over here about Alberto. Has he said anything? He told our Zach Browning, the Hoosier.com Zach Browning, that as of now, this was back at the Rose Bowl. He intends to be back at Indiana. Obviously, a lot can change. What are you going to say at that point, right? You're not going to just say flat out, no, you're going to leave. He did say that he hopes to be back and wants to be back, but we'll obviously see what happens here come Tuesday morning, win or lose for Indiana.
Absolutely. And I think Munchin Sales becomes Indiana's first 5-star recruit. That's gonna be off for a little while, but I see that happening in the pipeline. What do you think?
We'll see. Obviously, the wide receiver room another year with Nick Marsh and Shaz Preston, right, and Charlie Becker, and what these guys are likely going to be able to do with Josh Hoover or whomever, right, is at that quarterback position, is going to be another year of just tape that you can show Sales and any other high level recruit, whether it's out of high school or the transfer portal. But obviously Lawrence North, that pipeline has been working pretty well for Indiana up to this point.
Yes, it has. Coach Griff, Alec, Lasley from thehoosier.com. Make sure you're going to thehoosier.com, keeping up with everything that's happening because it's a lot. You can join now for just $1, 50% off to subscribe, and you get a free year of The Athletic and much more. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it, Jim. See you,
Coach. We got a lot coming up. Clayton Anderson should be joining us next. Maybe he'll sing us a ditty about Jack and Diane. Back with more Indiana Sports Speed Radio right after these messages. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington has the deals for you, like great savings on the remaining 2025 Hondas. First-time buyers get more than expected. The Honda Civic and HR-V are the most popular vehicles for first-time buyers in the U.S. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington also has a quality selection of pre-certified used vehicles. And check out the selection of Andy Moore Honda Bloomington's 2026 models, like the Honda Passport, Honda CR-V Hybrid, Honda Ridgeline, and more. ISB Radio with Jim Coyle is brought to you exclusively on The Zone by Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer.
Huddle up, football fans. Tailgate season is here, and nobody gets you ready for game day like Academy Sports and Outdoors. Swing by your local Academy store or shop online at academy.com to find everything you need, from grills to jerseys and more. Be a watch party legend with gear from top brands like Nike and Under Armour, all at unbeatable prices every day. With 8 Academy stores across Indiana, including our Bloomington location, fun can't lose, and neither can you. Gear up today at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemore@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. Looking for a place to have fun with the family, friends, or both? Head to Dave & Buster's by College Mall in Bloomington. Dave & Buster's has a wide array of games for everyone, and Sunday is fun day, half off of all games. There are $10 wings, $5 drafts, $5 margaritas from mom and dad watching the IU games on Dave & Buster's giant wall TVs and flat screens. Head out to the new Dave & Buster's by College Mall in Bloomington. Eat, drink, play. Welcome back, Indiana Sports Speed Radio on this Thursday. Glad to have you along, no matter where, how you're listening. Coming to you from the epicenter here in Bloomington as Indiana Hoosiers ready to take off tomorrow for Miami as the football team playing in the college football playoff national championship game against the Miami Hurricanes at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens specifically. What does Steve Alford think? Does think they get shot, or are they is Indiana a football school now? That's the question.
Is Indiana a football school now?
Well, I don't know about that, but Amir's coming in, and the Packers are done. So the Steelers are still alive, but the Packers are done. And yes, the Hoosiers. I'm not saying that. But the Hoosiers are playing for a natty on Monday night. And just so you know, if that happens, that's an undefeated 16-0, which has never happened in football. and the last undefeated basketball team was the 76 Hoosiers. So one school, my school, could hold both of those things in basketball and football. So good luck, Hoosiers, on Monday. Next Monday.
There was Steve Alford giving his 2 cents. Let's also hear from Curt Cignetti as he is preparing up against the championship.
I think that's a fact. If you look at, the record since Indiana started playing football and relative to the success we've had the last 2 years, we've broken a lot of records here in terms of wins, championships, postseason games, top 10 wins on the road, et cetera, top 10 wins, period. And so, it's been kind of surreal, but, you get it done with the right people, properly led, and you got to have a blueprint plan and process. You got to have the right people on your staff and the right people in the locker room. And we've been fortunate to have great staff continuity. With Bryant and Mike have been with me 11, 12 years, and a lot of other guys on the staff 5, 6, 7 years. And then down, in the locker room, we got a lot of older guys that have high character, great leadership traits. They can buy into the team vision. They're very consistent day in, day out in terms of, being committed and disciplined and working hard toward improvement, staying focused on the goal, keeping the eye on the bullseye, so to speak, and, being able to sort of enter every Saturday prepared with the right mindset and then putting it on the field. So it's all about people, and then you got to have a blueprint and a plan. And I think that, there's no question about it. That's what's gotten us to this point.
Well, Curt Cignetti making it sound awfully easy, very simplistic, not quite that easy, but it is that if you can get everyone to follow the blueprint and build the structure as it is on the prints. And that's exactly what has happened with this Indiana team. Amazing. Without question, to see it, because I've said this a lot. Every coach in America spends virtually every waking minute, it doesn't even matter what sport, trying to get all of their players to compete and at a level of that is efficient, that is as mistake free as just possible constantly. Well, it's a hard thing to achieve. Indiana's achieving that by those very things, by not making those mistakes, by doing their jobs, by having the people that can do their jobs. But it's guys that wouldn't normally be thought that they could go up against certain guys of talent level, but they have. Because of coaching, because of technique, because of just doing the things that they're supposed to do. I had a chance to catch up with IU legend, Hall of Famer, retired 11-year NFL veteran Adewale Agunyele down in Atlanta at the Peach Bowl. He was on the sideline, and I talked to Mark Cuban as well, expressing his gratitude toward him. But I had a chance to talk to Adewale, and here's what he had to say. Adewale Agunyele, one of the Hoosiers' all-time greats. This has to be unbelievably crazy in a special way for you, Adewale.
Man, it's amazing. It's a dream come true, something that I had envisioned when I enrolled at IU, hoping to somehow turn this program in the right way. So to see this team here at one step away from the national championship, it's just amazing.
And I saw you were talking with Mark Cuban. He's been such a huge part of helping this program, which every program has to have help in that way. But the team itself has been crazy. We'll talk about that. But talk about what Mark Cuban has done for this program.
I mean, it's an amazing, to be one of our, if not the most visible alumni with his background and getting behind the team. It's a testament to not only just Mark, but also Scott Dolson and coalescing all of the alumni base around football. I've always thought that if we get football on track, it's going to be tremendous. It's going to do tremendous things for the school, and this is evident to it. So having Mark supporting SIG and this program has been big for us.
There you go. That was Adewale Agunyele. And speaking of legends, here's a living legend, the man, the myth behind Indiana that you heard on ESPN last week. Clayton Anderson joining us now. Clayton, how are you, brother? Can you hear me? Yeah, I don't think he can. You're going to have to work on your hearing piece there, but hopefully he can get that fixed up. But Clayton's song, Indiana, was heard on the ESPN broadcast of Indiana's win over Oregon last week, and I saw that he was very proud of that. And you'll just have to let me know when you can hear me, brother, because I can't tell. But how are you doing? Yeah, he still can't hear me. So hopefully he'll get that fixed up and maybe just rejoin. So I just have to kick him out. You're going to have to go through. He needs his own producer over on his end, but Clayton trying to join us. And while he is, we'll hear more from Adewale. He had great players along the way, yourself included, one of those greats, but never have the amount, all it put together. And this coaching job, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, again, after leaving IU, having to play 11 years in the NFL with all these different teams and, betting every single week, a friendly wager with all these different guys from different places within the NFL, I'm just geeked that eventually we've gotten to a place now where people are calling us one of the best in sports. So it's been a long journey for us, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
And when you watch them play, this defense specifically, you have to have a lot of love for that defense, what Brian Haynes is doing.
I mean, amazing. I mean, there's times where I see that we bend a little bit, but the biggest thing is we don't break. And we give the offense another chance to score and give Mendoza, who is probably the best quarterback in college, a chance to get down there and put points on the board. So I see that they're coached well. They don't fall for tricks really well. And I wish I had the opportunity to play on this stage, but it's even better watching right now.
And now that you're out of the NFL, and Indiana kind of needs, now that they're enjoying some of this success, to start having some of the greats, yourself, Antoine Randall, to be able to come back and enjoy this and be a part of it so you can be celebrated.
Absolutely. I think, listen, at the end of the day, I just feel like so many people put their blood, sweat, and tears into trying to get us to the right level. You're seeing the great combination of having a good coach, good AD, and a good team together all at the same time, and you're seeing IU football being number one team in the country, and I'm excited about it. And I've had my time in the spotlight. Now is their time, and I'm just glad to be a big fan right now.
Thank you. There was Adewale Agunyele, one of the greats of IU. Clayton, if you can hear me now, just give me a thumbs up. But for whatever reason, he's not able to hear me. He said he could hear the video, which is kind of crazy. But hopefully we can get him fixed up. Ah, there you go. I can hear you, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm still having a hard time hearing you. You can hear me, but I can't hear you. For some reason, I can't hear you on your mic. I don't know why. I heard that video playing, but so I'll just say this and hop off here. But thank you, ESPN, for playing my song. It was the coolest thing ever, being at the Peach Bowl, winning that game, and then having my phone blow up and everybody saying, "Oh my gosh, ESPN's just played your song. ESPN just played your song again. They just played your song one more time." So it was the most electric environment I've ever been in after that pick six, jumping up and down, screaming. And now I can't wait to get to the national championship. We're going to be coming in hot from Arizona. We're playing a big show out there Saturday for dirt track racing fans, and then we roll straight to Miami. We're going to play a big IU tailgate party downtown Miami on Sunday at 4:00, and then we're going to go to the national championship game and hopefully win that, and hopefully be celebrating at the Tin Roof in Fort Lauderdale, the post game after party show, and hopefully we'll be celebrating the national championship, and we will own South Florida. But I don't know why I can't hear your mic, so I'll just hop off. Sorry if I'm ruining the show, but I love you. huge fan, Jim. Thanks for everything you do for the Hoosiers. Love everybody out there in Hoosier Nation. Let's show up in South Florida and represent. Go Indiana, go Hoosiers.
Clayton Anderson joining us here on Indiana Sports Beat Radio, and not as long as we would have liked. Unfortunately, he can't hear us, and we wished he could have, because he's been a big part of it. We've seen him a lot. They played his song on ESPN, like you just heard him say Indiana, which is a great song, perfect for this. And Clayton, if you can hear me now, I don't know, give me a wave or something, but I wish I knew sign language, and I could sign to him, but I can't do that. But I guess I could do, let's see, we can do some banners, really unique. Well, yeah, it's just too difficult, unfortunately, but appreciate Clayton jumping on with us today. Didn't work out quite the way we wanted to. Got his hearing issues. He couldn't hear. And that's what happens in live radio. We when you have the amount of guests on that we do, that stinks. But Matt Taylor is going to join us next from the voice of the Colts, but we're going to be talking about the Hoosiers and this national championship game. But yeah, it was cool for Clayton. And if you're not familiar with Clayton Anderson, originally from Bedford here, but pretty well-known country singer. He's got his own bar down in Indianapolis, Clayton Anderson's Bar, but spends a lot of time traveling and touring still. As you just heard, he'll be coming in from Arizona after doing a show. And man, I'd love to have one day, going to have to get him on to play. But I can't, I worry about if I could play a song without worrying about getting dinged on that for the copyright infringement, but we'll have to start playing that. Maybe that could be our intro for radio, but we'll get Clayton's permission, but that wouldn't be a bad deal at all. But looking forward to getting down to Miami. Media things, availabilities, whatnot, start. I get in like at 3:30 tomorrow afternoon, right after the show. And let's see, that evening, the Indiana team arrives, and they've set it up for us to be there at the arrival, which is cool. That's kind of different. That's a first. But yeah, I mentioned earlier, the security, big time, that you got to go through. And that's before we added POTUS going to this game. I've never attended a game where the POTUS was going to be there, but I know about what it does as far as adding a lot of time to people getting into the game, to people getting to the game. So prepare accordingly. I don't think many people are going to be driving anyway, because parking is a deal down there. So, but let's see. I was going to play some of the guys we spoke with yesterday, but I'm not sure that the volume is loud enough for those, especially after the ones we just heard from Adewale, which great talking to him. What a great guy, man. And looking forward to seeing him again. He lives down in Miami, so he will be back at this game. Keyshawn Williams, Miles Price, you heard Alec mention them earlier. They were down there as well. And they met Adewale Agunyele for the first time, as well as meeting Mark Cuban. So it was just wild watching all of that come together at the same time. So a lot of things happening, a lot of IU football families starting to come together. There's never been a reason for them to come together. I mean, you think about it, the basketball program, even though they've had the multiple coaches, you've got big groups of guys that are there following and still supporting. And football, that's about to happen. The guys are going to start chirping. They've got reason to talk. Guys like Antoine Randall, unfortunately, busy. The Bears won, so they keep playing. He will not be able to go to the national championship game. Well, I doubt he'll be preparing for his upcoming game, playoff game. Adewale, though, he retired. He's going. So, and then the other guys who made it to the NFL, their seasons are over. So, except for San Francisco, they still playing? I can't remember who all is in the playoffs. Which, if so, Curtis Rourke will be busy. But that's another thing. Indiana's probably going to put 3 straight quarterbacks at least into the NFL. Josh Hoover will be a draft pick next year. I can guarantee you that. You don't come out of college with over 12,000 yards passing, which he will exceed 12,000 yards passing by the time his career is done. And Clayton is always welcome to come on. May get him back on with Matt, but I've got to take a quick break so we can squeeze that in. Clayton figured out his error. So we'll go ahead and take a break and make it more fun time. If Matt joins us, then we'll have Clayton. What a time that's going to be. Holy smokes. We're giving you 2 for your money today. Always. We're trying to give you the best that we can. More coming up on Indiana Sports Beat Radio. We're back with it. Maybe a double dose of Clayton Anderson and Matt Taylor from the Colts right after these messages.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC. Local lives here.
Looking for a place to have fun with the family, friends, or both? Head to Dave & Buster's by College Mall in Bloomington. Dave & Buster's has a wide array of games for everyone, and Sunday is fun day, half off of all games. There are $10 wings, $5 drafts, $5 margaritas for mom and dad watching the IU games on Dave & Buster's giant wall TVs and flat screens. Head out to the new Dave & Buster's by College Mall in Bloomington. Eat, drink, play. If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemoreSells@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington has the deals for you, like great savings on the remaining 2025 Hondas. First-time buyers get more than expected. The Honda Civic and HR-V are the most popular vehicles for first-time buyers in the U.S. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington also has a quality selection of pre-certified used vehicles. And check out the selection of Andy Moore Honda Bloomington's 2026 models, like the Honda Passport, Honda CR-V Hybrid, Honda Ridgeline, and more. ISB Radio with Jim Coyle is brought to you exclusively on the Zone by Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer. Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Thursday. Jim Coyle with you as always, and just glad to be here. Clayton Anderson going to rejoin us, I think. He thinks he figured out his issue. And Matt Taylor will join us about midway through this segment. Looking forward to talking to both of them. Both IU fans, of course. Matt Taylor, the voice of the Indianapolis Colts. His season has come to a close. So he's got time. And we'll look forward to talking to him. In about 15. To get him on and get his take. I wonder if he's heading down. I think he went to Atlanta. So, but this ticket, this is a tough ticket, man. I did see yesterday where about 200 Indiana students are getting the opportunity to go and buy a ticket for $200. Now, that's great as long as they don't sell those. That would be, they probably can't. So one would hope not. But yeah, that's cool that you get to send some students, because it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I would imagine it's a lot of the students that are in the SAB Students Activity Board, the ones that wear the red coats. But they deserve it. They're the ones that are at every soccer game, at every football game, they're basketball game. They're there. But everybody's wondering what it's. This is not going to be a home game for Miami, as a lot of people have thought. And I think that is just going to continue to be the amazing thing that Hoosier Nation has shown for football. I mean, they have shown up and shown out for every one of these games. And I think it was Martha the Mop Lady yesterday on Twitter that posted, there's going to be a watch party at Simon Scott Assembly Hall for the game on Monday. And Martha the Mop Lady probably jokingly said the biggest crowd of the year in Simon Scott Assembly Hall will be for a football watch party. Possible. I don't think so. I don't think people are going to fill the balconies to go in there and watch the game. I damn sure wouldn't. But it's a cool thing to have, no matter what. Let's see. Here's another question that I have posed. With Indiana football surging with all this success, I mean, it's a rocket ship. It is soaring to the heights that Indiana basketball used to fly in. And with Indiana basketball not having had success for so long, it's an aging fan base that is not being replenished to the youth with success. You have to win to get kids to like the team, for them to latch on to their fandom. And will Indiana football surpass that of basketball? If this continues for another, let's say, 8 years, I'm not saying 8 straight national championships, but just being in that position to be in the CFP year in, year out, and I don't see why that's going to happen. But if they are having that kind of success, and if basketball does not get it turned around, does Indiana become a football school in a basketball state? It's a great question. I mean, I think it would take a long, long time to eradicate all of that basketball roots, and you never could completely. And I'm not suggesting that it should or would, but football is the train, the engine that drives the train. It is the sport that electrifies people. And winning is winning. And Indiana has done nothing but win in football. Cignetti has lost 2 games to the national champion and the runner-up of the 2024 season. That's it. That's a pretty damn good resume. He's broken the records of the best start by a coach in the Big Ten, best start by a coach in his first 2 years, I think. It's nuts. Clayton Anderson rejoining us now. Hey, it's magical.
Yeah, man, you tell you what, that's user error. I feel like my dad right now.
You know what? It's brother.
Can't work
technology.
Can't work technology. Pretty silly.
I'm there as well. All right. So you were talking. I heard you talking about your song Indiana
Yeah.
was played on, and I remember you talking about, hey, it may happen, and then it did happen. So first of all, when you knew it was going to happen, what was the process like?
Oh, well, it happened so fast. We sent it over. It got cleared by ESPN. The music director had sent me a message, so I felt like it was going to be a really and they paid us some money, so they paid for the rights to use it. So I was like, okay, this has got a pretty good shot, but you hate getting too excited for those things that don't come through. So I was just like, there's a chance. If we were winning, I thought it'd be even a better chance. So just an incredible, just fingers crossed, sending up shouts to the man above and hoping it happened and hoping we won the football game.
Possibility of it happening again?
Yeah, they signed it up for 2 weeks, so they can definitely play it again in the national championship game. So that would be, as a diehard Hoosier, I've done a lot of cool things. You were there with me when we played Memorial Stadium, which was one of the coolest things I've ever got to do. Playing Farm Aid with John Mellencamp was unbelievable. His announcement going on tour the other day got me choked up. That was pretty cool. But yeah, this has got to be the highlight. We've had some cool stuff happen to us. National truck commercials, song on the Winter Olympics, but this by far tops it all.
Yeah, it's awesome just to see how far this story is reaching, because someone just said Sig's tide is raising all boats, including Clayton's. That's why it is, but it's weird how it's reaching out that far. It really is. It's affecting so much, involving Indiana people. It's just a cool thing to watch, man. And is Indiana becoming America's team?
I'd say so. Everybody I know. I even got Purdue fans cheering for him right now, and that's
rough.
That's crazy, ain't it? I don't mind seeing Purdue basketball do okay against somebody else. I cheer for the Big Ten. I'm always Big Ten, but it's unbelievable. Everybody across the country is cheering for Indiana. It's such a feel good story. You got to go through the pain to feel the good, and we definitely have.
That sounds like I hear a song coming out, man. Already it's like, boy, that's how. But isn't that the embryo of a song right there? Just that one line. Somebody, oh, wait a minute, what? And you grab one line and somehow you build out and around that line.
Absolutely. You just gotta either something dumb your friend says you pick it up on, or something great and cool. It just takes one hook, and then you go from there. But I tell you what, as much traveling as we're going to be doing supporting this football team, this Christmas tree back here is going to be up for a while. So I don't know when I'm taking that down.
So are you on tour right now as well? You mentioned coming in from Arizona.
Well, we've had this back half of the year's been kind of down. I was saving it for our country bar, trying to promote it in Indianapolis like crazy.
Clayton's Country Bar up there in Indy.
It's been awesome. It's been absolutely awesome. It's great having you in, doing your show from there. But this we're going out to Arizona to play a big dirt track race. There's huge late model dirt track race out there starting this weekend, and we're happy to be a part of that. And I wasn't going to cancel on them guys, but when IU called and asked us to play their big tailgate party on Sunday, there was no way I was saying no. So I'm also praying that I'll have
Wait, was that last Sunday or this Sunday?
This Sunday.
Well, see, now you're dropping info on me that I was not aware. I was not privy to. I've not seen.
Well, you know what? I don't even know if I'm allowed to be saying that, but you know what? Who cares? Who cares? It's what it is now. They're throwing a big party on Sunday. Hopefully maybe.
That's probably well known. I just didn't know you were playing down there. That's cool as hell.
Yeah.
Now, is this for the varsity club thing? I know the varsity club always does the deal.
It's kind of like their big red warm up thing. I know they sent it to the donors, but I don't know. I keep asking, are we going to promote it? It's a amphitheater downtown, so it's huge. It's going to be like 5,000 people, so I'd love to fill it up.
Where will it be?
It's downtown Miami, the Bayfront Amphitheater. It's got some sponsor name before it, but I don't honestly.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I can remember that Bayfront Amphitheater. Make sure you put me on the list, baby.
Come on. No, it's
Put
gonna be
me on
fun. And
the.
then we're gonna play an after party after the game. Hopefully we'll all be celebrating
Where's
and
that going to be?
that's gonna be at the Tin Roof in Fort Lauderdale on Monday night after the game. I'm hopefully going to the game. So I told him, I said I'll be there as soon as the game's over. But
Yeah,
I'm,
I won't be making that one, but I'll be busy. But
you
I
know,
would like to come to the other one. Yeah.
yeah. You know that guy you're talking, when I heard him on the interview talking about Mark Cuban. I think Mark Cuban's getting a little too much credit right now. Mark Cuban just came on board. So I'm going to say something to all the donors who have been donating all the time, millions of dollars. Now, Mark Cuban's going to write a huge check, but our donor fan base is amazing. There's a lot of donors that I know who have been supporting this team for a long time. Mark Cuban has supported our business school and different things, but he's just now coming on board. So shout out to all those guys who have been pumping money into the program, even when we've been down. So I just want to get that off my chest. That bothers me a little bit.
Oh yeah, but he did go out of his way to say, hey, this is not about me. This is
Yeah,
there. So many other people. He said, I'm not. He said, and it was a great clip because I kind of asked him about the players thanking him. He goes, it is not about that. He goes, no, first of all, no one would know who the hell I am if it wasn't for Indiana University.
that's true.
Everything I've accomplished started at IU. And he said that he has been very front about that and very, very, yeah, he's not, he gets all the attention that he can stand. He's not in it for the attention and you can tell, but,
Yeah.
when you're a billionaire Mark Cuban, there's just no way. I mean, you're not going to attract the attention that he does. But yeah, it's just great to see him encouraging others. Though I think it may encourage others, but I don't think it's Indiana's not doing this with money, and that's the great thing. They're filling in a lot of things in which they probably should have been doing a long time ago. But it's awesome. The favorite thing for me to watch is for this team that is built on 2.5 stars. That is the exact level. They're average out to be 2.5, and they're playing teams that are 3.5 and higher. They're an entire deal above them. But it's about coaching. It's about hitting the right tune at the right time, baby, because when you're out of tune, it sounds like crap.
Nobody's gonna listen. I don't care how many beers they've had, they ain't gonna listen to you.
Yeah, you got that right. So you're going to Arizona. Is it just like out and back?
Yeah, we're going to, Friday. Tomorrow we head out there and then play Saturday, and it's at Central Arizona. It's called the Wild West Shootout. It's huge race, and then we fly to Miami Sunday. Please let the airplanes make it. Please no delays. 'Cause I'm going to be coming in hot, and then we then we go then we'll be there Monday, and then we fly out Sunday morning and go back to Arizona to finish up the races out there. So and then come back to Indiana.
Oh, you got to go back and forth.
It's going to be a wild week. I hope his voice will hold up. I've been fighting a head cold. It's been it's that time of year.
Yeah, it's like Don Fisher, man. He's been going back and forth, basketball, football games, sometimes 2 in one day. But he's enjoying the hell out of it this season. And what a great season it has been for him and for everybody, all of the Indiana fans getting to enjoy this. It's a once in a life. I say it's a once in a lifetime deal. I don't know that it's going to be with Cignetti, though, because boy, they're bringing in the recruits, and this looks like it's something that's we might be doing it again next year, Clayton.
Yeah, here's another song line. The first time's the best. The first time's the greatest. You'll never forget the first time. Maybe that's the line. But I'm gonna have to get a couple more jobs if we're gonna do this every year.
Oh boy, you and me both.
Sure is fun though. I tell you, growing up a diehard Bob Knight, got his hat on. Growing up a Damon Bailey disciple down there in Bedford. Basketball was everything. This football is a heck of a lot of fun. It's a
Isn't it?
lot of fun, and like you said, the rising tides. It is so cool I'm so proud to be from this state. I'm so proud to be from Indiana. I'm so proud to still have an 812 number. But to see us getting love everywhere, to get random text messages from people across the world, that say we're cheering for you it's just so cool. It's emotional, really. Honestly, I hate to say it, but I've grown man crocodile tears quite a bit this season. So it's pretty cool.
And when you're out, I know that you like to sport the Hoosier merch when you're playing sometimes, and have you, as you are right now. But when you're out on tour, I know you wear hats and this like that. Have you been doing that a little bit more lately?
I don't know if it's a little bit more, but I know it sure feels a lot more good when you're walking down an airport or somewhere or stopping at a gas station. People like, hey, I like that. I like that team. We've been watching you. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
What about some songs coming out of it? Not necessarily about the team itself, but just stuff like we talked about earlier, just plucking little lines out. Hell, Cignetti should be giving you all kinds of opportunities to pull out some songs.
He's been the best, man. He is so cool. I thought he was crazy, and I know everybody's gonna come on your program and say that when he was calling out Michigan and Ohio State. I was like, who is this crazy guy? But that is the kind of leader you want. He had to come in and change that thing. So there's so many song ideas that I've been writing down and have been working on. And some of them, there's a song that Rod Stewart did called oh shoot, which one was it? Rod Stewart did this song, one of his biggest songs, and it was about his soccer club that he loved over there. And you would have never known it. You would have thought you would have thought it was about a girl, but it's about a soccer team. And so there's going to be a lot of those songs coming from this. Obviously, you write about what you know. Indiana. A lot of people have reached out and said, "Well, why didn't you put basketball in Indiana? Why didn't you put the Indy 500 in your song Indiana?" I was like, "Well, that just felt too simple and too." That's what I always tried to stay away from.
You're right.
We want a song to relate to everybody, and I just kind of wrote it about how I grew up in Bedford, and that was going to softball all nighters and trying to steal beer out of your older cousins' coolers without them looking. You'd go to, and that's down at Murray Park in Bedford, and you'd go to the jumping off a rooftop. That's jumping off rooftop quarry in Smithville that ain't there anymore. You go to the grocery store, you bump into somebody, say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, excuse me. Oh, pardon me." And usually every gosh dang dive bar you go into in Indiana, it's got a jukebox. John Mellencamp's the most played thing on there. So that's really where the lyrics in the song came from.
Clayton, meet Matt Taylor.
What's up, man? How you doing, buddy?
Clayton Anderson.
What's going on, fellas? Clayton, how are you, sir?
Oh man, I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. It's what a time to be alive and be an Indiana Hoosier.
The voice of the Colts and the voice. So that's a pretty good combination.
Well, I want to say this: them Colts. Gosh dang, I was screaming from the rooftops that we were going to the Super Bowl, and I love our team. We were just a couple injuries. I don't know. I love them. We're going to be back next year. We're going to Super Bowl. I don't care what happens. But I don't care if I got to get out there and Tanya Harding somebody. We're going to the Super Bowl. But hey, thanks for letting me be on your program. Thanks for everything you do for Colts Nation out there, Matt. We love you, Jim. Thanks for everything you do for all the sports. Appreciate it, buddy. See you guys.
Absolutely, Clayton. Have a good one, buddy. We'll
Likewise,
see you,
Clayton. Man, good to see you.
You too. See you.
Matt, we're going to take a quick break and we'll finish up with Matt Taylor from the Colts. When we return, Indiana Sports Beat Radio back with more right after these messages.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC. Local lives here.
Looking for a place to have fun with the family, friends, or both? Head to Dave & Buster's by College Mall in Bloomington. Dave & Buster's has a wide array of games for everyone, and Sunday is fun day, half off of all games. There are $10 wings, $5 drafts, $5 margaritas from mom and dad watching the IU games on Dave & Buster's giant wall TVs and flat screens. Head out to the new Dave & Buster's by College Mall in Bloomington. Eat, drink, play. If you're looking for a new home in the Indianapolis area, you need Cheryl Sizemore from Brick and Ivy Realty. Cheryl Sizemore has over 2 decades of experience, and that could be the difference in getting the home you want in today's tough housing market. Reach out to Cheryl at CherylSizemoreSells@gmail.com or 317-701-0838. That's 317-701-0838. Let Cheryl Sizemore sell or find your new home today. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington has the deals for you, like great savings on the remaining 2025 Hondas. First-time buyers get more than expected. The Honda Civic and HR-V are the most popular vehicles for first-time buyers in the U.S. Andy Moore Honda Bloomington also has a quality selection of pre-certified used vehicles. And check out the selection of Andy Moore Honda Bloomington's 2026 models, like the Honda Passport, Honda CR-V Hybrid, Honda Ridgeline, and more. ISB Radio with Jim Coyle is brought to you exclusively on the Zone by Andy Moore Honda of Bloomington, Bloomington's #1 Honda dealer. Welcome back, Indiana Sports Beat Radio on this Thursday of Championship Week. Our good friend Matt Taylor joins us. And Matt, you've been able to chill, I guess, for a little while and watch some college football, actually, since the NFL season is in deep into the playoffs now. How much fun are you having not having to prepare for? I know you'd rather be preparing for games. We all know that. But since that's not the case, how fun is it getting to watch this and be because I know you're a big IU fan.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is kind of like the first full week of the off season here for me. Last week was kind of like a wrap up week because you got press conferences and you got some content that you got to churn out reacting to the fallout. But this is kind of like the first, I would say week where things are kind of slowed down a little bit. And you come to the realization that, hey, didn't make the playoffs for the 5th straight year, like you mentioned. But it did, the one blessing, right, when you miss the playoffs is that I've got a chance to watch more football, and I had a chance to go to be able to watch football. We drove down to Atlanta with Pops the other day and went to the Peach Bowl. What an experience that was. And we were gone right around 48 hours, and it felt like we were gone for like 2 weeks, just the amount of stuff that we were able to pack in and, things that we did and the fun that we had. So it was unbelievable. It really was. And then you just watched the top shelf butt kicking that Indiana gave Oregon in that game. The high level execution is just off the charts. And such a, I don't know if I've ever had more fun watching a 56-22 game in my life, but that's what it was, right? I mean, the whole second half, you're just kind of like, enjoying every big play and, savoring the moment and, thinking about how are they going to do the post-game celebration and stuff like that, and taking a bunch of pictures with, friends and family that were there that we met up with too. I mean, it was just such an awesome time, and, just great to continue this ride as a fan, watching IU football continue to dominate.
You mentioned so much to do. I'll get back to that. Well, no, I'll just stick with that. Atlanta might be the best place to host really the national championship. I know everyone would like for it to be at the Rose Bowl, and I get it, but you got the College Hall of Fame there. There's so much going on there. You can do so much. Man, that's a pretty damn and the stadium is awesome. Pretty good place to hold a major event like that.
Well, it's pretty easy to get to too. I mean, it's a straight shot, depending on how you do it, drive through Lexington or drive through Nashville. It's basically like, 7 or 8 hours, and it's very doable, especially from people around here in the Midwest that, go to Florida every year for spring break. That's kind of what I felt like it was. It was just like, IU spring break, like 2 months early down there in Atlanta. And, I'm sure you saw it. I know everybody that was at the game saw it. I mean, 9 out of 10 fans were wearing IU stuff. I mean, we got down to downtown Atlanta about 2:45, on Friday, and like no one's wearing normal clothes. Like no one's wearing Oregon stuff. No one's wearing like, you didn't see anybody walking out of business buildings or office spaces wearing like casual Friday gear. I mean, everybody there was wearing an either a white or a red IU shirt. I mean, it was just fascinating. But yeah, I think Atlanta's a great host city. I think Indianapolis is a great host city as well. Can you imagine if the national championship this year was at Lucas Oil Stadium like it was 2-3 years ago? I mean, that would be enormous in terms of the magnitude of the crowd, supporting IU. But I think there's going to be a really good contingent down there in South Florida, and just excited to see how it all plays out.
Yeah, especially Miami's getting that opportunity, but Hoosier Nation has been so good that I don't think this is going to be a home game for Miami. I think this is going to be neutral at worst for Indiana. I think that they may have set a record, an unofficial record in Atlanta as the most dominant fan base ever in a CFP game.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for the band and cheerleaders of Oregon, I'm serious. They didn't have a section. They did not have a section. That was it.
You were watching from the press box, so I'm sure you saw it too. I was sitting like in the club level, across the way from the Oregon sideline. So I guess that was behind IU's bench. But I mean, I said to the people that I was with, I said they look like all the Oregon fans look like ornaments on a red Christmas tree. I mean, they're just kind of like sprinkled here and there, and they look like little green dots.
The Peach Bowl staff were wearing green shirts. That was the color this year, just happened to be. So that helped them a little bit. But even with that, it wasn't much. There's another word you mentioned earlier, execution. You know how just incredibly important that is at every level, especially at the NFL level. If the execution isn't there, the success isn't there. Every coach in the world, in every sport, at every level, their only goal is to get their guys to execute at the same time. And it's a difficult thing to do. But for whatever reason, Curt Cignetti and his staff have been able and are able to get their teams to do just that. They're able to get guys who maybe aren't as good as the guy they're playing across from, but they execute better. Maybe their technique is better, whatever it is. That has been the secret sauce to this Indiana team.
I mean, he's just maniacal about it, right? I mean, just totally maniacal about execution and making sure that every moment, whether it's the first play of the first series or, a crucial moment late in the half or late of game, every moment is treated the same. That way the moment doesn't get to these players. And, the thing about it was, I mean, we all saw the D'Angelo Ponce pick six to start the game, but I think some people remember that Oregon got the ball right back and quieted the crowd, and they went on like whatever it was, a 12-15 play drive and scored a touchdown. It was a red zone touchdown at that as well, right? And that's Indiana does not give up red zone touchdowns. So that on its own was kind of surprising, and it was a big time answer by Oregon in that moment, with 90% of the stadium, cheering and backing Indiana to go right back down and answer was really impressive in my opinion. But then Indiana got the ball right back first time they had the ball on offense, and they go on a 6-minute drive and they score a touchdown with Omar Cooper, right? So I mean, that's just it. Like, they don't let the moment get to them. They execute no matter what the situation calls for. And as it relates to the Colts, unfortunately, like that's kind of like what they're looking for. Like, they're still in search of clutch moments and finding ways to close out close games. Now, in Indiana's case, give them credit because they're not in a whole lot of close games because their level of execution for most of the game is so flawless. But I think, to be fair, the NFL is tougher. There's more parity. The rosters are more comparable than even in college football, right? So, I think what we're seeing so far in the NFL playoffs is like there's really not a whole lot of margin for error and a lot of separation roster-wise between these two teams. It's which team can be more clutch, which team can make more plays down the stretch of games, end of half, and end of game situations, like I said. And that was the Colts' pitfall this year, right? They were 3-7 in one-score games. They lost their last 7 games of the season, primarily to really good teams that had good records. And we looked it up earlier this week. The Colts gave up 40 points in the last 2 minutes of halves and end of games during their 7-game losing streak. I mean, that was a big reason why they just weren't able to win close games and finish out games against tough competition. And again, no excuses, right? I mean, you had a ton of injuries down the stretch in the back half of the year. You know, your secondary was depleted. Defensive line had some injuries. Daniel Jones was out. But, I mean, look at the 49ers. They're still playing. They played 8 games this year without Brock Purdy. You got to find ways to win. You have to have enough depth at the end of the year to overcome those things. So, again, that's relating IU football to the Colts and teams that just execute, trying to find that execution throughout the course of 60 minutes consistently.
Yeah, and now here in this college football playoff championship, we've got 2 teams that are going to be producing a lot of guys that will be playing on Sundays from both sides, for both teams. Indiana is going to this may be the most NFL players they have ever put into one draft, I think. And even the guys that don't get drafted, there's going to be a bunch of guys that get signed as unrestricted free agents or undrafted free agents, whatever, not unrestricted. And then there's guys that are undecided. D'Angelo Pons is probably the biggest indecision. He's a great defender. And, his size is he's going to be maybe overlooked because of his size, but, and he's going to have to look, is this the year that I go out or do I wait a year? Do I go through the process and listen to what they tell me? What should I do? And hopefully guys are smart about how and I think now with getting paid in college, it's easier to listen to what the NFL guys tell you to do and not make that over anxious jump.
Yeah. I mean, what we saw with the Oregon quarterback just decided to come back, right? Which is a little bit,
after he got embarrassed. Yeah.
Well, I just don't want to, it might, I don't know if it's completely unprecedented, right? But I mean, it just shows you the day and time in which we're living in college sports, where you can go continue to develop and also not sacrifice a lot of money on the table while trying to do it, which is just remarkable for these young people to be able to be in those situations. But that's the time that we're living in for sure. But yeah, I mean, Omar Cooper absolutely can play in the league. Surratt can absolutely play in the league. Coogan.
Omar Cooper is another one of those guys that does not have to go, that can come back.
Yeah. I mean, we know about Fernando Mendoza, rightfully so. He should bail, and his stock's never going to be higher, right? I mean, you don't begrudge any of these decisions as IU football fans. You got to do what's best for them, right? And you got to take into account your career trajectory and things of that nature. But it's just crazy to me now when people start talking about IU football being the team that everybody's trying to duplicate, right? It's a copycat league or a copycat sport, and again, I think a lot of people are having a hard time. I think college football, more than any other sport, there's just such built-in brand bias. And the last 2 or 3 games that Indiana's played against Ohio State, Alabama, and now beating Oregon for the second time, I think people are running out of things to say, yeah, but their schedule was easy, or yeah, but maybe Ohio State didn't play their best brand of football in the Big Ten championship game. Yeah, but you beat Oregon 2 times and you throttled them the second time, right? And you beat Alabama, who is a huge brand in college football. You beat them by 35 on a huge stage in the Rose Bowl. So I think more and more programs are starting to find out or wanting to investigate the secret recipe of what Curt Cignetti has done at Indiana and trying to duplicate their different methods and steps along the way to try to get to that point. I think it's going to be easier said than done, just because of how, process oriented that guy is and doesn't accept excuses, won't tolerate mistakes. I think you have to be a special type of guy and a special type of character to be in that situation and to also command that amount of respect and buy-in. But that being said, a lot of people are looking at Indiana saying, what are they doing? How are they doing this at Indiana? If they can do it there at IU, we can do it here at, insert school here, Virginia Tech or Wake Forest or, Purdue or whatever, right? Teams that haven't had a whole lot of success like Indiana trying to get to that level in a short amount of time.
Absolutely. Matt Taylor, the voice of the Colts. Fred on the comments calling you as this turn 4, Matt, who I know your seats for the 500 are out there in that area. But did you get the turn 4 radio call job that I'm not aware of?
No.
Because I know our friend Curt Cignetti is retiring from that spot. So I'm like, it would be a perfect transition out of the seats and up into the booth up there.
Well, give me a call, Jim. You're my agent. Give me a call, buddy. You and me.
That would be great. That would be fun times. But, buddy, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it as always. And we'll be down in Miami bringing it all to you.
Hey, safe travels going down there, my friend. I look forward to all your coverage and watching and listening. And be safe, man. Have a blast down there.
Appreciate you, sir. Matt Taylor, the great voice of the Colts, joining us here on Indiana Sports Beat Radio. And that is going to wrap it up for today. Man, big thanks to Coach Griff, to Alec Lasley, to Matt Taylor, Clayton Anderson, and most importantly, to each and every one of you. We're back here to do it again tomorrow. Until then, I'm Jim Coyle. I will see you on the radio. Stay tuned for Glass.
Thanks for listening to Indiana Sports Beat Radio. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page for more clips and team coverage of Indiana basketball, football, and more. You can also find full episodes and tons of other content on thehoosier.com. We'll see you next time for another edition of Indiana Sports Beat Radio.